Hi, hey, hello. What's up? How you doing? How's your day going? Please don't drink and drive. Welcome to a Market Down production. My name is Clover. I am joined by Sam and I am joined by Alex, and we are here to predict the Forbidden Door. The door is locked, but it's going to be opened on Sunday on pay-per-view. I know what you're thinking. AEW just had a pay-per-view. New Japan just had a pay-per-view. You're right. They did. And here we are, despite that. I don't know. But before we get into predictions, I'm going to do a YouTuber thing that YouTubers do where they ask you to subscribe before you even get to the meat and potatoes of the video that you clicked on, which is insanely selfish if you ask me. But here I am anyway doing it. Please subscribe because if you do, Sam is gonna rap and dye his hair green. So what more do you need? Anyway, we gotta get into the predictions, and we're gonna start with the buy-in, which isn't really part of the pay-per-view, but because of who's on it, making an exception, it is going to be Max Caster and the Ass Boys versus the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dojo, made up of the DKC, Kevin Knight, Alex Coughlin, and Yuya Uemura. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm sorry if I'm not. And this is going to be great. I don't know why this just popped in my head, but I really hope that Caster just writes one line in Japanese for his rap. Just one line. Just one. I wouldn't put it past him. So that being said, Sam, what do you think he's going to rap about? And I guess who do you think is going to win this match?
I would never attempt to understand what Max Caster would rap about. It would be a disservice to the man and to myself, despite the fact that we are both highly sought after rappers, you know? First of all, let me just say thank you for making me Sam. I needed to look up what our names were about. And once I did, I totally understood. And I feel like a Sam. Moving forward, I think the Ass Boys, and it's Caster and who?
The Gun Club in total. So
so Billy Gunn.
The whole Ass family and Max Caster.
Billy is over in Japan. I don't know if you guys know that. He wrestled in New Japan quite a bit. So I am 100% going with the Gun Club and Mr. Ass himself, Max Caster. And yeah, the Dojo Boys, the Young Lions of New Japan. God bless.
Okay, so if the kids are the Ass Boys, the whole family, I guess, would be the Ass Clan. And yeah, I'm all for that. Honestly, I think Billy Gunn's a really good wrestler. There's not many of his matches I don't enjoy. It's weird.
Maybe it's
the steroids. I don't know. Like it's
he had one flaw in his repertoire, and that he wasn't The Rock. And ever since The Rock buried him in that King of the Ring promo, it fell apart. Wait, what was it? A King of the Ring promo, or was it just a promo?
I just know it was a promo. I don't remember if it was King of the Ring. Yeah. All I remember is that his career was done. But you know, he's always been really good. But a lot of people have just fell victim to not being the over person. You know, like it just it happens. But that's okay. Alex, what do you think Caster's going to rap about?
I got at least a Forbidden Door reference at -5,000. So, I mean, that'll definitely happen. I wouldn't put any money on that because it wouldn't be a good return. Other than that, I don't really know. A lot can happen between now and Sunday, and he tends to be a bit more topical. He'll definitely make a Chicago reference as well. So we'll see how the Cubs and the White Sox are doing. Besides that, I will agree with James here, Sam, whatever we're calling him. I will go with Max Caster, Mr. Ass, and the Ass Boys. With it being dojo guys, young lions, I just don't necessarily see them winning. And buy-in shows are always about getting the crowd hyped and having, the more over people win. And obviously, that is the fantastic combination of the Ass Boys and the Acclaimed But let's all be realistic here. We're all just here to see Bowen's scissor ass daddy before this match starts.
I'm a little worried because if Billy Gunn's going to be in the match, who's going to roll Bowens around ringside? You know, like he's going to be left unsupervised, and it's a little worrying. You know, but it's going to be great. I wish Bowens wasn't injured because this is the type of show he. Yes,
he's gonna pull a Kevin Nash and stand up out of the wheelchair.
Oh man, this act, man, between Danhausen and the Acclaimed, they're doing a great job of getting the ass boys over, and that's great. But I agree with you guys. I think that Max Caster is going to win, and the fact that he has teammates is just there. You know? That's great. Oh no, Billy Gunn's there. I don't want to disrespect Billy Gunn, but moving on, because this is just the buy-in. Ultimately, you know, there's a free match you can watch on YouTube, and that's cool. You can watch us go over the card afterwards on YouTube as well. You know, that's crazy, right? We'll be there most likely, probably. Anyway, we're just gonna go to another tag match, another 8-man tag match apparently, and it was just announced on Dynamite. We have the Young Bucks and Bullet Club. How do you say this, James? Hikuleo? Okay. And El Phantasmo versus Sting, Darby Allin, Shingo Takagi, and Hiromu Takahashi in a this match is happening match. It's going to be these matches, the past few pay-per-views, you know, Sting and Darby Allin have been in a random tag match, and it's like, okay, why is this here? And then that match is fucking insane. So I'm not going to doubt them anymore, but I still kind of have that feeling. But that being said, Alex, who do you have in this match?
I think that's me. I do like our running bit for these prediction shows is Nick doesn't get Danny's reference for our names.
I barely get the reference. Like, I'm not going to give you any character details because I really don't know, but it's just a trio that I remember the names of.
Fair. One day he's going to name us all the kids and Stand By Me. I think I'll go with Darby, Sting, and the LIJ guys. Darby and Sting haven't lost yet, and I feel like having them lose here would be stupid. So I'll take them.
That makes perfect sense. And you know what? Before we go to Sam, I'm going to give my prediction, and I agree with you. I think they're going to win because I think Darby and Sting are going to challenge for the tag title soon. I think they're going to take their first loss as a team to the Young Bucks, but something about this show made me think, or this past Dynamite, because this is Friday or Saturday when you're watching this, where this is the future, where it's the present for you, it's the future for us. So yeah, I'm going to go with you. The faces are going to win. Sam, who do you have and why?
I too have the faces to win. I have this makeshift team of LIJ and goth kids to win because I think more than them just making more sense to win, I think there's just going to start to be some dissension between Bullet Club and Elite, and I think that's a good way of really getting it done in this match that doesn't matter. The thing I'm most excited about is for a larger audience to start to see El Phantasmo, because this guy is fantastic. He is such a dickhead in like all the best wrestling ways. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see what he can do with a larger crowd. But yeah, LIJ and the Face Paint Boys.
I also think that Bullet Club is going to be more over in this match, though. Outside of like maybe Sting, but there's just going to be so many Too Sweet chants because AEW fans haven't really had an opportunity to chant that pretty much ever. So I think they're going to be way too excited not to do that, and the Bucks will just Bullet Club will be way more over than the other guys.
Maybe, yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah, actually, yeah, I totally see that happening. Yeah. All right, so far so good. We're on the same page, but Moving on to another tag match. This one trios though, but it's also just a collection of people fighting each other, which is a weird theme on this card. But we got Christopher Jericho, Sam Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki versus Ed Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, I don't know how to shorten that, and Shota Umino, in a match that, again, I don't think any of these matches will be bad, but it's a weird combination. Sammy Guevara and Minoru Suzuki on the same team. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go first on this one. And I'm going to say that the heels are going to win because I think the faces are going to win blood and guts. And that's that. Sam, who do you have?
I too have the old men and their little boy toy, Sammy Guevara. By the way, it actually pained me to hear you call them say their names the way you did. And it was even more jarring with just saying Minoru Suzuki as is. There's no way. I get you couldn't have changed the name. But
I was gonna say minor Suzuki, but I don't want to be offensive. Yeah.
But I have them winning just because they are the veterans plus Sammy, who is a proven commodity, versus Wheeler and Shota, who are very popular. But they're young enough that they could take these pins and it's not going to hurt them. And Eddie is just Teflon when it comes to losses. They mean nothing to him. So yeah, I think the heels are taking this, and I am just so excited that Suzuki is finally going to get a win in AEW. How weird is it that it took this long?
Overdue. And that brings up a point. I'm not going to get onto too long of a tangent, but I think AEW's presentation of New Japan stars before Forbidden Door was ever announced dampens any excitement I could have because they suck in AEW. They just lose all the time. Everything that makes them special, you have to already know. Otherwise, you're like, who cares about these guys? So that's another issue, but that's, that doesn't take away from how good this match will be. But moving on to a match that is going to be great no matter who it is.
No, let's just keep.
Sorry. You're going with the heels as well, I assume. So, we're just moving on, all right?
Yeah, considering you literally gave the same exact prediction I was going to, down to I think the faces are going to win blood and guts. Yeah, I guess we could kind of just skip me, but I did at least want to say it out loud.
Okay, sure. Hold on. Let's pretend none of that ever happened. Let's just start from the beginning. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Market Town. Rev, I'll call you by your government name so there's no confusion. Who do you have in this match and why?
I'm going to go with Jericho, Guevara, and Suzuki. I think that the BCC and Eddie and Santana Ortiz are going to end up winning in blood and guts next Wednesday. So it just makes sense that Jericho and them take the win here. Plus also to Wheeler and Shota, especially Shota, they're young, and them being outwitted by these guys just makes too much sense. So it sucks for Eddie. I'm going to be pulling for those guys, but I think there's going to be too many heel shenanigans, and the heels will win. Although Suzuki versus Eddie is going to be sick.
Oh yeah. That when Suzuki came out, Eddie gave him the fucking stare, but then Yuta ran at him, and I was like, oh, I guess him and Eddie aren't gonna go at it. But that'll be great at the pay-per-view. Anyway, moving on smoothly, no hiccups here, to a match where we don't know one of the people in the match. Oh my god, it's exciting. It's exciting, but I'm about to frame it in a way that makes it sound less exciting. It's going to be Zack Sabre Jr. versus not Bryan Danielson.
Boo! Boo, Leslie Knope. Boo! Boo.
I agree. Way to reference the third best show in the NBC primetime Major Four lineup.
What's 2?
30 Rock.
False.
No, we've been over this. You're wrong.
Lies and
It's
slander.
okay. It's okay. You're a little basic, and you like the cutaway to the camera style, and that's fine. But it's Community 30 Rock, a Parks and Rec office. All great, but that's the order.
Ooh,
Anyway, that's not part of that.
Oh,
That's
was
not
that
part of
that was
the
later?
NBC lineup from like 12 years ago.
Wait, which one did he say?
I said good place, just in general. I was just referencing NBC shows in general. But all right, yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, it's gonna be not Bryan Danielson going against Zack Sabre Jr. in a dream match of sorts. Between two of the best technical wrestlers in the world, one of whom won't be in the match, but it's nice to dream. That's why I call it a dream match. So I guess, Alex, who do you have in this match? And like literally, who do you have being in this match?
A lot of rampant speculation after Bryan announced on Wednesday that he would be unable to compete in this match. It was later mentioned on Dynamite that it would be the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club. So for me, I think that rules out one of the early candidates in Johnny Gargano. A lot of people think it's going to be Claudio, aka Cesaro, or FKA Cesaro. And I would tend to agree with that. And if it's him, I do kind of have a hard time seeing him lose his first match in AEW. I know technically it's the crossover pay-per-view episode, but it just seems a little weird that would happen. So as good as Zack Sabre Jr. is, I think I would have to lean him. If it's him, I'm gonna go Claudio. If it's not, I'll take Zack Sabre Jr. It's really hard to predict this one because we don't know who it is, but that's the way I would call it.
It's clearly going to be Johnny Elite. Are you kidding me? He replaced Jeff Hardy flawlessly. You might as well place Bryan Danielson here. But Sam, who do you have in this match? Like, who do you think is going to be? Who do you think is going to win?
I am 100% backing Claudio as Bryan's replacement. I gave my reasons in the live chat. I'll briefly say it again here. I don't think there's anybody Bryan Danielson, at least in kayfabe, respects more than Claudio. That goes back companies and multiple storylines. So I really do think it's going to be Claudio. And I think he's a good fit for BCC. I think he's a guy who, I love him. He needs a group around him to really, to cover up some, like one of the few flaws that he has, which is, not being able to work a mic. So I think it's going to be Claudio and BCC. I think he's going to beat Zack Sabre Jr. And it's going to be glorious. I need it. I've missed seeing Claudio on TV. I've missed seeing this man wrestle. And that's why I think I need this to happen so much. I need him back doing something. So this is my pick. I don't think it's going to be Gargano because I don't know. I just don't see it happening. But I'll be happy if it's Gargano. I don't think it's him. And yeah, this is low key. I think the match I'm most excited for the night.
We should totally get some spies and figure out who this person's going to be.
Totally. All right, well, that's our show, guys. Like and subscribe. You know what? I think it's going to be Claudio as well. I think I would like Gargano more on the night, but not to be part of BCC.
That's fair.
Yeah, especially too with the blood and guts as well. Like it would actually kind of make sense, but once they announced he was going to be in the BCC, I think that kind of fell through.
Yeah, and that was because they didn't have to do that, But anyway, I'll go with the mystery opponent because I don't know, like I'm just going based off of how AEW has presented New Japan people. So I think they're all jabronis who can't win matches. And, I know Zack Sabre Jr. is better than that, and he'll probably win, but I don't care. If they're going to randomly make this, all about a Survivor Series, I'm going to back AEW. So I'll take the random person who's not even in AEW yet to win the match. Oh, man. So next up, we have the match of the year. It's going to be the best wrestling match of the year. It's going to be up there in terms of the best of all time. It's undeniable. I don't think it'll ever be topped. I think AEW can close down after this because they've completed their job. Their journey is done. Their story has been told, and there's nothing else to do. They brought back CM Punk. They told Hangman's story. They gave Cody a platform to get back to WWE. What else is there for them to do after Orange Cassidy versus Will Ospreay? Alex, I'd hate to follow that, but
so this is for the IWGP World Heavyweight. Oh, excuse me, not for the World United States Heavyweight Championship. I was getting there.
It's for the creation of wrestling.
That too. But because it's for that title, even though Ospreay doesn't currently have the actual belt, because I think Juice Robinson's still running around with it, I don't see Orange, unfortunately, I don't see Orange winning this match because I don't think they would want to put that title on him right now, especially Ospreay, I believe, just recently won it. So it makes too much sense for Ospreay to win. I do agree with you, Danny. This is going to be a match of all time candidate. We got a brief glimmer of it in the tag match on Dynamite, and I was fucking completely sold. So I think I'm looking forward to this match more than any other match on this card, which is so weird to say, but I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait.
It's not weird to say, man. This sold me on the card. Because so far, before the Zack Sabre match, all we've talked about is a mishmash of tag matches, between an assortment of flavors, and this is like a mouth-watering match right here. And it's just, I'm being hyperbolic.
No, you're not.
Are you?
The general public. I believe what I'm saying. I really do. But I have to say it in a somewhat playful tone so that, to dial it back a little bit. But this match is going to be unbelievable. And I'll deflect any criticism right now. If you think Will Ospreay should be in a more serious match, go fuck yourself. Boom.
Oh, but that's the point. That's what makes it so good. He takes himself way too seriously, and he's going against a guy who doesn't take himself seriously at all, or anything for that matter. That's what makes it the one of the greatest matchups of all time.
Yep, exactly. Everyone should be more like Orange Cassidy and take things a little less seriously. Right. But Sam, you don't take anything seriously. Who do you have in this match?
I totally have Will Ospreay winning this match. He's too hot in Japan. He just won the title. Nah, I love OC. He got his win tonight. He won for the team. That's as far as it goes. He's gonna go back to losing, unfortunately, on Sunday.
True. I do believe that Will Ospreay is gonna win. But the biased person in me says, fuck it. Have Orange Cassidy win. He's a big star. He's in Chaos. He could totally do it. He can win a New Japan title. Also, but no, I think at one point we're gonna get a Kenny Ospreay match. So I guess he needs to win. It'd be funny if he lost. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Will. I wish Chad was here because I was gonna throw it to him and be like, we got Will Ocean Spray versus freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, and which beverage do you prefer? Well, which beverage do you guys prefer? Actually, real quick.
Neither of them.
You don't like orange juice?
No, if gun to my head, I'd rather have ocean spray because I hate orange juice. I pretty much hate everything orange related fruit wise except Orange Cassidy.
Sam, which one do you prefer?
I came prepared. Give me my cranberry juice. It's a natural diuretic, and I will never get a UTI.
All right. 3 white guys passionate about wrestling. Anyway, I don't even have much ocean spray, so I can't really say. I guess I technically prefer orange juice based on having had it. But anyway, moving on, we have another title match, and it is for a bunch of tag titles. Everyone but the important one. That's not true. The New Japan ones are important. But we have for a winner-take-all triple threat tag match between FTR, which Sam, everyone knows, stands for... Sam, what does FTR stand for? I was putting you on the spot and hoping you would say something funny, and you kind of stalling for time.
I wasn't ready. Now I'm just gonna say
That's the point. I put you on the spot.
Fuck the Roman.
Yeah, I agree. Good job. That's a teaser for our podcast episode, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's FTR versus Jeff Cobb and Great Khan, versus Roppongi Vice in a who's gonna pin Rocky Romero match.
No.
I mean, but that is what the match is. You know, that's how Justin Roberts is going to announce it. Okay. So again, it's winner take all. 2 of these teams are champions. 1 of them are not champions. And you would think wrestling logic almost dictates that they would win. But that team is Roppongi Vice. And I know what you're thinking. They're one of the best teams from Japan. That's Japan. In AEW, they're fucking geeks, bro. Trent got injured too many times. He was gonna be a guy. Everything Dax and Kyle O'Reilly did as singles guys, that would have been Trent. But he just couldn't help himself, and he just had to keep getting hurt.
He's made out of tissue paper. Leave him alone.
Yeah,
Your comment put him on the shelf for a week.
Wow, Danny's a dick in real life.
I was just trying to be like Trent, man. But anyway, Alex, who do you have in this winner take all match?
This is an interesting one because it does involve titles from multiple companies, obviously being Ring of Honor and the IWGP tag titles. I'm leaning FTR here. It's interesting because will they let FTR go to Japan if it comes to that? Obviously, there's the New Japan show in America, and they could, go defend the titles over there if they wanted to. And that would be 3 titles for FTR, including the AAA titles. So with how hot they are and how well I think they could get over to a New Japan audience, I think it would make a lot of sense for them to win. You can make arguments for all these guys too. Obviously, having Great Khan and Jeff Cobb win the titles is a similar instance because they can go to Japan easy. Obviously, they work there and then come back here and just drop the Ring of Honor titles, no problem. Or if Roppongi Vice wanted to go back and do a New Japan circuit, they could win too. But I really think it'd be cool to see FTR win this, be 3, hold 3 sets of titles at the same time, and go wrestle some New Japan matches. So I'm going to pick FTR just because I think it's the coolest option.
Okay, what does FTR stand for?
Forever the Revival.
Sure it does.
Boo, you nerd.
Wow, you knew what something meant, fucking nerd.
Do you know what FTRR stands for?
FTRR?
Yeah, you get it?
You get it, right?
Yeah, you get it.
I don't get it. I don't get anything. I don't understand.
He doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it.
This guy doesn't get it.
Nope, I do not get it. I'm not even going to pretend that I do get it. I don't want to mislead our audience. I would never do that. I would never lie to anyone. I would never gaslight anyone. Anyway, guy who's going to rap when we hit 100 subscribers because we talked about it and agreed upon it ahead of time. Who do you think's going to win?
I too think it's going to be FTR. I think there's a lot of money in the idea that this very established tag team has 3 sets of tag titles, but don't have the tag titles of their home company. You know, are they better than the Young Bucks because they have more belts? Are the Bucks better because they have the home belts? It's a very interesting dynamic, and I think it'll eventually lead to a very exciting rubber match between the two teams. And truth be told, I would love it if it was either like a best of 7 series, or a best of whatever series, or even just a 2 out of 3 falls match or an Iron Man match. I'd be down for any of these options, and I think the best way to get there is FTR winning. The Empire doesn't need the win, like that group is really there to serve Ospreay's needs, and Roppongi Vice isn't even Trent's top tag team. So, I think he's good.
Trent's in another tag team?
He's a little loose, and we don't judge here at the Mark It Down podcast. Whatever works for you, as long as everyone agrees to it.
There's a reason Wheeler Yuta was so quick to leave the Best Friends. But I agree. I think FTR is gonna win because watch after all this shit, Roppongi Vice wins, and but I think FTR wins. You give them the titles. They're making up for all that's because we are building to the Young Bucks match again, and I believe the Young Bucks have held all these tag titles, right? That the FTR will hold once they win. They've held all 3, right?
Yes, they've held the Ring of Honor. They've held the AAA. I'm 90% certain they've won the IWGP heavyweight tag titles. I know they've won the junior tag titles.
Yeah, I swore they moved up, but I don't remember if they won the titles or not when they
That's my thing.
up.
I am gonna, if I had to bet on it right now, I'd say yes, they won the heavyweight tag titles. I think Nick is looking it up right now, and I really want to know if I'm right.
I'm doing my best.
That's such an Alex thing to do, but I think I don't know, but yeah. So point being, if that's the case, if that's true, the Bucks already have that built-in line of everything you're doing now, we already did. You're just trying to be like us, and I think that's what they're doing. They're making up for all the time they weren't there to win these tag titles. They're just doing it. They got a schedule to keep, and they're not wasting any time getting there.
Yep,
they did win them.
Okay.
Yeah, they won them more towards the end. Obviously, they didn't go up to heavyweight until
I think they dropped it as they left.
Yeah. So yeah, they beat Evil and Sandata to win them, and then they lost them. Yeah, as they left.
All right, there you go. So yeah, I think we're building towards that match. So and FTR just hot as hell right now. You got to give them the wins. Got to put them over. So man. This is a crossover pay-per-view between AEW and New Japan. 2 companies famous, absolutely famous for their portrayal of women's wrestling. So to celebrate that, we have one women's match on this show, and it is between 2 AEW women's wrestlers for the AEW Women's Championship. It's Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa in a match that will be good. I just took a little bit of the piss out of it, but it's going to be good. It's a toss-up. It can go either way. We got the defending champion Thunder Rosa, fresh off of a victory against Marina Shafir. Cool. Against Toni Storm, who's fresh off a victory against Marina Shafir. Cool. But the build's been okay to this. Sam, who do you have in this match?
Oh, that's me. Okay. My heart says Tony, but my head says Thunder is going to retain just because of how little they did with the feud. It's not their fault. They just didn't have a lot of time. I could see Tony maybe taking it off her if they give her a rematch down the road, but I think Thunder is most likely going to win, even though I think Tony makes more sense. But how sad is that? Like, I was so hot on Thunder once upon a time. I thought she was like the woman, like the heir apparent to that division after Britt. And it's all been downhill since that title win.
Wow,
Truth be told, it was downhill before the title win. But yeah.
You're really sandbagging her right now.
Damn it.
Alex, who do you have in this match?
I agree with James in the sense that my heart says Tony and my head says Thunder.
But
I wish that they had more time for the feud because I feel like it would have ended up being really, really good. This probably would have been Thunder Rosa's best feud since becoming champion because her other ones have been.
I mean, it still technically is, but you know.
Less than stellar. Yeah, I guess it still technically is, but like they haven't cut a promo on each other. This entire thing is basically based around Tony picking up the belt twice. Like, and I'm here for it. Like, I love Toni Storm. She is red hot with the crowd right now, like really over. And there's a part of me that thinks it's logical to strike while this iron is hot. You've had a short but fairly lackluster title reign from Thunder. Tony, like I said, is very over, and you're doing it at a pay-per-view, which provides you an opportunity to have a short title reign, but still drop the title on a big stage instead of just doing it on Dynamite, which that would normally entail. So I'm like 80% sure I'm going to be wrong here, but I'm going to pick Tony for the sake of variety, and it gives me something to actually like super root for that I don't think is going to happen. But yeah, I'm picking Tony, even though it's probably going to be Thunder.
Okay, I see that, and your guys' logic makes sense. I'm actually going to go with Reverend Alex on this one because I just fucking strike while the iron's hot. I don't want to beat that phrase into the ground, but you know, I don't like bringing people in, having them be hot, and then having them lose their big match. They've done it already enough. They did it with Ruby. They didn't do it with Brian, but he lost his title matches. How lame would Punk being champion be if he lost first? You know, like, just fucking do it. Just have the person win. It's okay.
And Tony's already lost a big match against Britt. Like, I know she got that win back, but she still lost in the Owen tournament.
Wait, no. Did she wrestle Britt in the Owen?
Yeah,
I thought she did.
Yeah, the semis.
I thought she just didn't get to Britt, but no, you're right.
Yeah, no, she lost in the second round, and you know, and that's fine. Like, that's especially because a tournament didn't matter and doesn't matter, besides the Owen Hart aspect of it. But
it's safe.
You know, yep. Nope, gonna stop myself. Anyway, just fucking give it to Tony. We all love Thunder. It's not personal. It's not her fault. It's just, it's how it is. Why suffer through more weeks or months of a limp title reign than just try again with someone who's over and hot with the crowd? You know what, Thunder, I just said it earlier, but Thunder Rosa's title reign would have been so much better if they did it months ago instead of waiting a fucking year of Thunder Rosa doing nothing before finally going after Britt for the title. Like, it just, you might as well do it. There are only two people who can take this title off of Thunder, and it's Tony or Ruby. I only say Ruby because they have that, at least have that little bit of history from the Battle Royal that Ruby debuted in, where Thunder Rosa was acting like a baby when she lost and initially showed signs of turning heel. And I think no matter what, we're getting a heel Thunder Rosa sooner rather than later because I just feel it. I don't know.
I've been saying that for a while, that I've just been expecting the turn, and they just keep not doing it.
They need to do something to spice up this title reign if they keep it on her. Turning her heel would be something.
I don't think there's any salvaging it, and I don't think it's her fault. I just think that's how it is. And again, it's like there's no salvaging Scorpio Sky as the TNT champion, but we're gonna be done with that soon enough. So once he is cleared, title reign's over. If he was smart, he would have his doctor say he can't wrestle for a while. But that's a different show, I'm sure. That'll be a Dynamite title change. But yeah, I agree with you guys. Do a title change on a pay-per-view too. Like I know we're gonna technically get a new champion, but that's not a title change as much as
we're gonna technically get two. But yeah, on a card full of title matches, you're not really gonna get any title changes. I guess technically three, because depending on what happens with the tag titles, like somebody's gonna win a new one or two new ones.
Yeah.
And then, but other than that, like the interim World AEW Championship and the new All Atlantic Championship, like those are, it's not a title change. Somebody's just winning the title. So, like, this could be the only opportunity for like a real one-on-one title change. Why not?
And it's one of the few singles matches on the show too. So go for it. I mean, it's like half singles matches, but that's not a lot considering normal pay-per-views. But yeah, I just say go with Tony just because I think it's the right thing to do. They'll probably have Thunder retain because God forbid we don't have a title reign that's 4 to 6 months, but anyway, personal preference. Moving on, because we spend more time on that than they're probably going to get on the show, but we'll see. To one of the just spoken about title matches, it is the AEW All Atlantic. Why did we add another title to the company? Fatal 4-way match between Malachi Black, who just earned a spot on Wednesday, Pac, who is also in the Miro, who is so fucking good, and Tomohiro Ishii, who any one of these guys can win this match. It's weird to say that I think Pac has the slightest chance of winning the match. When I used to think he would be the world champion, like when the company first started, I thought he would be like the guy to beat Kenny for the title before all the Hangman stuff started. But it's been a long 3 years, especially for him in particular. But so it's not his fault. He's great. This match is great because it's a fatal 4-way. We're just talking about they need more multi-man matches on AEW, and this is one of them. This match is going to be great. I disagree with this title's existence because they don't need more titles. And if they were going to add another title, it might as well have just been the trios titles, right? I think we can all agree that we're going to have trios titles in this. But anyway, this is a toss-up. I don't know who I'm going to go with, so I am going to throw to Alex. Who do you have in this match based on country?
I think the best way this title works, and assuming only non-US wrestlers can win it, they haven't said as much, but obviously all non-US wrestlers in this match. I think the best way this title works is if it's not in AEW all the time. I think it needs to be their traveling belt. It's got to go to Japan. It's got to go to England. It's got to go wherever the fuck they're, and to whomever the fuck they're doing business with. So that being said, I think putting it on Ishii here makes a lot of sense. Let him go back to Japan and hang out with it there for a while. Continue to build a relationship with New Japan. I do think Pac will win it at some point in the future because then he could go back to Britain and wrestle over there for a bit with it if he wanted to. But that's for a later date. As much as I would like Miro to win, because it'd be awesome and this dude deserves a title or another one, give me Ishii. It just makes a lot of sense for it to be the traveling belt. And I think it'd be cool to see a New Japan guy win an AEW title, even if they literally just made it up 4 weeks ago.
That's a great point. Actually, I appreciate that. I'm glad I went to you first. And because I think that Sam is going to have similar prediction, I'll at least make this a sandwich. And I'm going to say that Miro is going to win. And I think they made this title so that they can give Miro a title without giving him the TNT title back and without putting him in the world title picture yet. because that's how much they like Miro, because that's how good Miro is. And that's the only way I can kind of justify this title to myself right now. Although I love your idea of it being the traveling title, that makes a lot of sense. But Miro travels. He knows how to fly. He'll be okay. He has a god. No one else has a god. You don't have a god. I say to the audience who believes whatever they want, and I don't care. But I think Miro is too good to not win all the time, and he just got back. But I agree, it would be nice to have a New Japan guy win an AEW title. So I think you're probably right, but I'm just going with Miro because it feels like this is why this is happening. Sam, do you want to complete this sandwich?
See, I'm screwed because I was like 90% Ishii, 10% Miro, but then your sandwich just screwed with me because now I don't know how I feel anymore.
Okay, well, it could be what it would be then, but
I'm gonna stick with Ishii word for word for what Nick said. Like I have nothing to add. He completely got how I was feeling. But man, Miro makes so much sense too, especially because I don't know what he does if he doesn't win. You know? I mean, I do think he'd be a good challenger for Punk, but I don't want to see Miro lose. I don't want to see Miro lose.
I don't think he'd be a good challenger for Punk.
Why is that?
I don't think that match works. I think Miro's too big. I think Punk will botch a lot in that match in particular. Honestly, I think Punk Wardlow only worked because Punk got beat up the whole match. Like, it's just one. I don't see them working well together. I don't know. It's not something I'm interested. I don't want to see Punk beat Miro. Also, and I love Punk like more than I like Miro, but I don't want to see him beat Miro. I have no problem with Bryan Danielson beating Miro because Bryan Danielson could beat anyone and should have been a 5-time champion already and be in the Hall of Fame. But it's neither here or there. Sorry, hold on, my internet's being a little wacky. Hold on.
Well, I'll speak while your internet is cooperating. I don't want him to lose either, Miro, but it would be kind of cool, in my opinion, if somewhere down the line we did end up getting Miro versus Wardlow for the TNT title, because I think that'd be a really cool match to see.
That'd be cool too, but Miro, I don't know. This is just the fan in me. Like, Miro's become one of those guys where I'm like, bro, I don't want to see him lose because, I don't subscribe to the theory that, people can constantly eat losses and, get over. And not to bring up the other company or anything, but Riddle is one of the most over people in the company, and he's just lost on SmackDown and Raw back-to-back shows, and I'm like, that's not how you keep momentum going and get people to reach that next level. But I'd be super into a Wardlow Miro match. That sounds fantastic. But either way, this match is going to be great. No matter what, there's no bad option in this match. That's the beauty of it. Like about Malachi Black, who is one of the most dominant people in the company as well. I have no problem with him winning that either. So this can go however. I just think Pac and Black are going to cancel each other out in the match, and it comes down to Miro and Ishii. But all right, we're gonna move on to a match that really should be the main event, but is second to the main event, which obviously we all know the main event is Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy. But can't blame him on that. This is for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, another fatal 4-way match. Everything I just said about having more of these, maybe don't have them on the same card, but I'm not going to complain because I just made a whole fuss about it on 2 different shows about it. So, serves me right. It's going to be the champion, Jay White versus. That's for you. That was only for you.
That was my boy.
I really like Jay. It's his name. I don't know. Jay Payton's a good name. That's a whole nother podcast we could do though about baseball names. I think it was Jay White versus Okada versus Hangman versus Adam Cole, and a fatal 4-way that's going to be all sorts of fun. I don't know what to expect from this match besides it being good, but I'm gonna just throw it right over to our resident New Japan guy, Sam. All right, I guess he doesn't have strong opinions about this match. That's weird. Alex, who do you have in this match in the meantime?
So this I'm very excited for. I was waiting for weeks for that coin drop in AEW, and we finally got it on this past episode of Dynamite. I'm really hyped. There's so much intrigue and storyline overlap and history between all four of these guys. Okada just lost the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, World Heavyweight Championship, to Jay White. I think it was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So Jay White just got this title. And I would think it makes a lot of sense for him to continue to hold the title. So I have him winning, but that's not what I'm here for in this match. I am here for these four guys wrestling an unbelievable match. I'm sure there'll be temporary alliances. We have the whole Bullet Club and Undisputed Elite thing. We have Jay White and Okada's beef. We have Hangman and Cole's beef. We have the whole idea that Hangman wanted to challenge Okada, try to get his losses back from the past. Adam Cole's never faced off with Okada before, which is something I'm really looking forward to seeing. Hangman Page is really pissed off at Switchblade because he's gotten jumped by him the last couple of weeks. There is so much going on in this match. I am so excited. I don't even care. It's awesome that it's four-way. I was expecting one-on-one matches, probably just split up in whatever which way, but I am totally here for this fatal four-way. But it's 100% Switchblade Jay White is going to win this. It's his time right now, and he's honestly near the top of the wrestling world in terms of being the best on the planet right now. So it's Switchblade all day. Too sweet.
Oof. Well put, my friend. I was with you already, but you put it very well. I'm gonna go with Jay White as well. But yeah, I agree. I'll be honest, I haven't seen much of Jay White, but he's one of those people you just see him once and you're like, yeah, I get it. This guy, you see it automatically. You don't need to know all the history. He's one of those guys you can just feel it from his presence, and that's good. That's something that I think sometimes AEW misses the ball on sometimes, or sometimes people just don't have that about them. But he's not one of those guys. Like, he walks in, he already feels like a bigger deal than Adam Cole, and that sounds crazy to say out loud. But
the thing with Cole
might be acting up again.
Well, we've been hearing you, so you're okay. They're just freezing a bit, but I digress.
Okay.
The thing with Cole, at least in my opinion, he has been slightly overexposed in the ring in AEW. So I feel like I don't want to say his it factor has been diminished, but like the fact that he's been a bit overexposed kind of just lessens it, if you know what I'm talking about.
I think you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, it happens with wrestling. When you put a guy out there too many times, he can, tend to just kind of lose it for a minute. Jay White just exudes charisma the second he steps out there. He's just so fucking cool. And you can immediately see that when he walks on the screen. And even for people who don't know him that well, like you said, like he's got it. The other thing that I failed to mention in this match is there is the looming Kenny Omega of it all. They were teasing him pretty hard this week on BTE with the brooms and the aviator shades. And I don't know if he'll get involved in the match, but I can definitely see something happening afterwards with it, which I am really looking forward to Kenny coming back, and now seems as good a time as any.
Oh yeah, I would be all for that. It's because that's the thing, you got to give him more time to heal up, but him just making an appearance, setting up the future, that's all we need to complete this cherry Sunday of a pay-per-view. Sam, you already gave us your prediction, so we can just move on, I guess. But
Who did I pick?
do you not remember? I threw to you first, and you said nothing. Okay, so who do you have in this match? It's a fatal four-way, by the way.
I figured. I have Jay White winning. I think there's something to have him winning a match against Okada in the United States, because the last time they wrestled in the United States was at Madison Square Garden, and Okada beat him for the championship. So it's a nice little way in Japan for them to sort of one and one it in the United States. What a weird sentence. And they're not gonna have an AEW guy win this belt. So Hangman and Cole are, in my mind, immediately out of the running. And I never want to bet against Okada because that man is made to win. Like, you know how the joke is about Randy Orton? If I were to build a professional wrestler from the ground up, it would be Randy Orton. It's Okada. It's not Randy Orton. It's Okada. But I think Jay White's going to retain. But no matter what, no matter who wins, Adam Cole is taking that pin.
Ooh.
That is absolutely my prediction.
Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right.
And I think a lot of body shamers are going to be very happy.
Yep. What a skinny little bitch Adam Cole is, apparently. I guess. Would you fight Adam Cole, James?
I wouldn't want to. The man is delightful.
But you would fight him. That is all I heard. Is that you had to, you would.
I'd play him in Halo.
Yeah, I'd play him in Uno.
Okay. Halo. That's a real thing. Okay.
Old Halo, not the new one. It's trash.
I didn't know there was a new one, so I believe that. I instantly believe you. But all right. So now we only have one match left, and it is for a lesser title than the IWGP Heavyweight title, but only because interim title.
Even if it wasn't the interim title, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not going to get into that debate, but especially because it's an interim title, it's going to be Jonathan Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi in a match that no one is looking forward to more than John Moxley. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be interesting. It's not the match we thought we were gonna get, but you know, when life gives you lemons, you make do. So
Mountain Dew.
But real quick before I throw it to you guys, because he is back in Japan, fittingly enough for Forbidden Door, our very own Chad, or in the theme of this episode's names, I guess Mandy, I think. I don't know. I have his predictions. I'm just going to run through them real quick before we give our predictions for the main event. So for the buy-in, he obviously went with his fellow rapper Max Caster to win. Makes sense, right? Can't begrudge him there. For the Young Bucks, for the Bullet Club versus the Emo Boys match, he went for the Emo Boys because, welcome to the Black Parade, My Chemical Romance is back, and for that synergy, you push the Emo Boys. Sting did take Darby to see a marching band, so that they have that connection. For the trios match, he chose Wheeler Yuta specifically to pin Chris Jericho clean in the middle of the ring, and then cut his hair off after the match. And I thought that was interesting because we just asked who we thought was going to win. We didn't ask for specifics, but that's cool. For the Zack Sabre Jr. versus mystery opponent, he chose the mystery opponent, and he thinks the mystery opponent will be Sasha Banks. And I guess that's fair. But I don't like the idea of Sasha Banks in Blackpool Combat Club or Bullet Club. For Orange Cassidy versus Will Ocean Spray, he thought it was going to end in a double DQ, which is pretty crazy considering how they don't really have DQs. but I guess he just didn't want either guy to lose, and I get that. For the winner take all tag title match, he of course went with Roppongi Vice because they're right in the momentum of one of them never winning a singles match in AEW television, and the other one being a dick. So they're obviously going to win. For the women's title match, he picked Nyla Rose. I don't think he read the card properly. For the All-Atlantic Championship Fatal 4-Way match, Chad obviously picked Pac because they're both British. For the Fatal 4-Way New Japan World Title match, he went with Adam Cole because he thought that if Adam Cole won the title, him and Hangman can feud over it because they need to have at least 2 or 3 more matches. That's what everyone wants to see. And then finally, for the interim world championship match, he chose, and this is an exact quote from Chad, who's that guy that he used to be in the other company, what's his name? Oh fuck. I want to say Sean. I want to say it was Sean. He was in a faction. They wore stuff. What's it called? Vests. I think they wore vests. What's his fucking name? Oh my god, Dean. There we go, Dean. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Dean. I'm gonna pick James Dean to win this match and be the interim world champion. And yeah, that was an exact quote from Chad. But anyway, Sam, who do you have in this match?
Poor Chad.
It's amazing how well he conveys stutters over text messages.
I appreciate when people text the same way that they speak. That's a little extra detail. They're not trying to fool anyone.
Chad is very considerate like that. God, I want to go with Tanahashi so badly. I think
it doesn't sound like it.
I do. I really do. It's the interim title. No matter who wins it, they will not be recognized as champion. So have Tanahashi win it so he can just have dream matches in AEW. And when Punk comes back and they wrestle, Punk could still just be recognized as champion. And it's like nothing happened. I think that's perfect. That all said, it's going to be Moxley. Moxley's going to win. I get it. I'm not upset with it. I get it. You have such a golden opportunity with Tanahashi, but Moxley's going to win, and he's going to be the first not 2-time champion in AEW history.
You made a lot of good points there, though, about it. And I guess it comes down to, would you rather see Tanahashi versus Punk or Moxley versus Punk? And in the context of this interim title situation, I'd rather see Tanahashi because I'd rather Moxley Punk not be to unify the fake and the real title,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I get what you mean. I'm with you. I think it's going to be Joxley. I think he's going to win, but yeah, man, you really just won me over a lot there, though, with that logic. Yeah, especially because it doesn't matter. Punk's just going to win when he comes back.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that's like a bad thing. That's how it should be. But this is what you do. Like, give it to Tanahashi, and they'll just be in Japan the whole time and never be on AEW television because WWE proves, bro, put the title on someone who's not going to be there. Why do you want your top title there? Get rid of that shit, bro. It's a burden weighing down your company. Get rid of it and then push your floundering mid-card title. They're actually following WWE's format almost directly right now. If they do that, it works. Actually, you can argue that Austin Theory is a better U.S. champion than Scorpio Sky is a TNT champion, but that makes me upset to even think about. So move on from that. Alex, I assume you're with us, and then maybe you feel. I don't know if you feel the same about the Tanahashi of it all, but I assume prediction-wise, you're with us.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Tanahashi with the title and wrestling some AEW guys until Punk comes back would be cool. It really kind of depends on when Punk is back, because I doubt New Japan would essentially loan out Tanahashi for an extended period of time. So that being said, I obviously have to go with Moxley here. He makes the most sense. I don't think that AEW would want to put their title, albeit an interim title, on a New Japan guy, at least at the moment. So I'm looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be really cool, even though it's not the one we were initially expecting. But yeah, Moxley's going to win the title here. I'm curious to see if Punk shows up in any way, shape, or form surrounding this match, because part of me feels like whether or not he comes out after there's a winner, or maybe he like has a backstage thing with both guys before the match. It could be cool, but maybe you're kind of burning his return, and you're kind of using it up a little too early, and it'd just be better if he was just gone until he was back and ready to unify the titles. So I'm curious to see if he's around. I don't think he would be, but even if it was on like commentary or something, but it'd be cool either way. But yes, Jon Moxley to win the interim championship.
All right. Well, I think besides like one match or two matches, we're all on the same page for this whole card. So that'll be interesting. And ultimately, it's going to be a fun pay-per-view. It's going to be long, though. Please, AEW, fucking tighten this shit up, man. I don't want 5-hour pay-per-views.
It's funny. We constantly complain about them not letting the matches breathe on their pay-per-views, but then we always complain that they're too long.
Because some of them don't need to be there. I mean, most of the matches breathe as long as, you have the right body parts for Tony Khan to give you time. But, other than that, anyway, we got to go. This is just predictions. Okay. You got a whole pay-per-view to get to. And then you got a podcast of ours to listen to. So you got a lot of content to consume. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time, but I just, once again, like I said at the start of the show, please just give us a subscribe. When we get to 100 subscribers, James is going to rap for you. It'll be as good as a Max Caster rap, and it's going to be fantastic. He'll dye his hair green, and that's neat. That's just neat. And if we get to 84 subscribers, which we're only one away from, I'll tell you how James hurt his shoulder, and I'll tell you how I hurt my shoulder, and I'll tell you how Rev hurt his back. And then
I don't even know how I hurt my back.
Episodes, okay? And then you'll just get all this little behind-the-scenes information, and that's just also neat. So anyway, guys, get home safe, because I assume you're on the train listening to this for some reason, which is cool, because if you're on the ground, that means you have to like download the video to listen to it. So when you don't have service on the ground, that's really nice of you. Anyway, get home safe. Don't drink and drive. It's okay to drink and ride the train. Just don't be obnoxious. Don't pass out on the train. And that's it. And if we get to 85 subscribers, Rev will drink a beer during the next show. Anyway, have a good night. Leave. Bye.